Hi, I'm Robert from Critical Dynamics.
I'm Henry from Critical Dynamics, a part of the Sterile Training Group. And today, we're going to be reviewing the IO M214. So,
Okay, weapon is charged, going hot.
you hot? He's going hot. Now let's start it. Today I'm going to be reviewing the IO M214 or the M214 rifle. To being compared to the Arsenal M107, or correction, the SLR 107, it's a pretty good take-up. It's a good rifle, good solid rifle compared to what they used to put out before. Now, the rifle itself is based off of a Polish design and with an American twist to it. If you can see right here, you can see that the gas block is integrated with the front sight post, and it comes with the Phantom muzzle brake, the A1 style Phantom muzzle brakes, and the rails came on it just like this. This is a replacement of their Hellhound rifle. As you can tell right here, I guess I was having the rails made for them, and it has IO ink written all over it by themselves, right? Now, it did not come with the grips. This is a nice armaments grip that I put on there because we all know how the AK acts when you start to fire it. It gets really hot, okay? Now, the rifle came with this case, which is a very nice case. As a matter of fact, instead of coming in a cardboard box that usually ships with rifles, with these red tabs, and it's real nice. It's a real nice case. It's soft and, you know, has its foam. It's padded. It protects your rifle pretty good. I lug this rifle around all the time in a bunch of different places, and I haven't had an issue with it getting dinged up while it's in its case. All right. Now, the rifle came also with two waffle pattern type Bulgarian magazines. I was fortunate enough that IO sent me some extra ones because when they replaced my rifle, they kept my old mags. And they never sent me my mags back, so they sent me a few extras. Okay? Good rifle. Okay mags to use at the range. Originally, the first IO products came with a Radome 11 Circle 11 Poland magazine, right? Polish magazines, they're not steel reinforced at all. They're just pure polymer. They're good mags. I've never had an issue out of them. They're really good mags. But this is what I like. The steel surplus mags. This is what I would count my life on. You know what I mean? I would use this if I absolutely had to use the rifle for actual combat purposes, or SHTF. We all know what that means, right? Now, this rifle came with the quad rails, the phantom muzzle brake, and it has the rails for your accessories. Or you can mount an accessory rail on there. You can have your Picatinny M214 rails on there. And it also has oversized paddle for the magazine release. Great feature. Comes already with the bolt hold open, which I'm still probably going to change to the Krebs custom ones. Okay? The integrated gas block, which we spoke of already, and the paddle, we've already spoken about that. Great rifle compared to what IO used to put out before. Now, remember that IO is an American company. Started out in North Carolina. Now they're being built in Florida, which is where we are located. Okay? The takedown of this is just like any other standard AK-47. So I'm not going to do that because I know you guys are probably familiar on how to take an AK apart or field strip an AK. All right? The pros. Robert did most of the shooting, which I have shot this rifle also. And I'll let Robert talk about the shootability of this rifle.
Okay, as far as shootability goes, on the range, I was actually a little surprised. The polymer stock, a little bit longer length of pole than a standard wood stocked com block length. It actually helps. Makes it a little more comfortable to shoot, a little easier to get on target, stay on target. The fit and finish, it's head and shoulders above what it used to be.
Why you say that?
Well, I mean, if you look, none of the rivets are dimpled. Everything's straight. You know, you don't see any indentations where somebody tried to put some monkey on the rivets to get them in. You know, nothing was force fit together on this particular weapon. And it's, like I said, fit and finish is considerably better than what it used to be. They're a little more money than they used to be, but, you know, you get what you pay for.
So, what do one of these rifles go for now?
Depending on where you get it, between $800 and $1,000.
Okay.
And it also, one thing that I've noticed about the M214 over the old Hellhound is the M214 does not require any home gunsmithing to fit standard AK-47 magazines.
Oh.
The old Hellhounds, some of them came out of the factory ready to go. They'll take any AK mag, you know, and some, like a friend of mine had one that it would not feed out of standard AK-47 mags. You had to use the IO Inc. supplied mags, and you had to buy their magazines for it to work.
So, what do you think about its shootability? Was it comfortable to shoot this rifle?
It's a lot more comfortable than some other AKs that I've shot, and I've shot in 20 years of shooting rifles. I've shot everything from the old Norinco Mac 90s and NHM 91s to the Egyptian Mahdi's to the Romanian Wassers. I mean, you name the imported AK, I've probably shot it at some point. And this
is a homegrown rifle.
This is probably one of the most comfortable AKs that I've ever shot.
Now, my question is, would you trust your life to this rifle?
Yeah, I mean, all they didn't mess with the actual method of operation of the gun. All they did was tweak it cosmetically. There's no drastic alterations to the gas system, the trigger group, the bolt, the op rod, the operating rod, the gas piston, you know, the gas tube. It's not like a modified gas system or a modified AK system. So, I mean, it's the same way that Dr. Kalashnikov designed it 70 years ago.
So in other words, you just would trust it with your life when it came to a standard, regular com block AK mag or a surplus mag. You wouldn't trust the IO mags with your life, right?
Probably not, because looking on closer inspection on the IO mags, they're like the Polish mags, the radome mags that came with it. Everybody's heard of the Glock, the Model 17, the 19. They all feature polymer magazines, but the Glocks have a metal lining in the magazine to reinforce the feed lips. Now the reason that's important is because the bolt, the magazine sits on the weapon like this, the bolt face comes over the feed lips, strips the top round in the magazine, and feeds it up into the chamber to shoot. Now if there's no metal reinforcement here, over time this is going to wear out, and when you have steel and aluminum scraping on polymer, I don't care how strong it is, it's going to shave down.
And not to mention, from the constant pressure of the rounds pushing up, is going to push the lips apart eventually, right?
Yes, and that can lead to problems like failures to feed, failures to eject, or the magazine just not wanting to hold any ammo. You try to load it and it throws it all up at you.
So you spoke about the pros. Now let's talk about the cons. Ready? Okay. One of the cons is that this muzzle brake, the Phantom muzzle brake, which is made by YHM Yankee Hill, comes off by hand. Or when you're shooting. When you're shooting pow, 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 guess what? It rotates itself out of position. And you have to tighten it up, and by then it's already too hot, so you have to use something. I don't, like a towel or gloves to tighten it back down, and I don't have a tool to lock it into place. Okay? Now, another downside of this gun, it's not the gun itself, it is the company. IO Inc. has a horrible reputation, or had a horrible reputation when it came down to customer service. My original rifle, the reason I got this one, well, my original rifle was destroyed by IO without my consent and or permission. After 2 months or 2.5 months of fighting with IO trying to figure out what my rifle was, the customer service guys told me that they don't have a good working relationship with the guys in the back that does the gunsmithing. My old hellhound had the rivets were all crooked, dimpled in and damaged and stuff, whatever. And what the problem I was having was, if I put a surplus magazine in it, it would feed the first round, but wouldn't feed the second round. That's uncommon for an AK. An AK, you can put what we call as garbage mags, which is trashy mags, like
You mean like the Chinese mags?
Like the Chinese mags, like the what's that other company? Pro mags and stuff like that, and they should work just fine. Okay, but it had a problem. It would only work with certain surplus mags, and even if they were from the same line or same company, it wouldn't feed some of them. That's uncommon for an AK. But after a month and a half, 2 months and a half of dealing with these guys and trying to find out what the hell's going on with my rifle, I finally got a call back and they told me that my rifle was destroyed. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That rifle was given to me by a good friend of mine named Alan. And I'm pretty sure Alan is going to be watching this video. Thanks again. I was a little upset because that rifle had sentimental value to me, and I use that rifle a lot for training. The only issue I had with it was it wouldn't feed from standard mags, and they told me that apparently there was a problem with the receiver, that it was crooked or something like that. And I said, okay, but I would have appreciated if you guys gave me a call before you destroyed my stuff. Well, and I was told that if our gunsmith deems something as unsafe, we're not going to need your permission, blah, 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 and they destroyed my rifle. And I'm like, but it took you 2.5 months to figure out what happened to my rifle after I've been calling you for 2.5 months? Well, they told me, well, we're going to do you a favor. We're going to upgrade you to one of our M214s, but we're going to charge you $160. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, you destroyed my rifle without my consent, but now you want to charge me $160 because you're upgrading it to the new rifle? Does that make any sense to you? No, it doesn't. Well, as we all know that you can't put a price on something that has sentimental value, correct? No, you can't. If I wanted, and I got my attorney would probably have sued them and made them give me 2 or 3 rifles. But I think this is retribution enough by putting this on YouTube. Okay? I was dealing with Pete and Bob, which those 2 guys are no longer with the company. Pete went back to work for the Air Force on active duty. And Bob, I don't know what happened to him. I was upset. I wrote emails to the owner. I put a lot of stuff online. And I read a lot of stuff about how their customer service was really horrendous. I mean, bad. I just never thought it would happen to me being a gun owner, or being an FFL for that matter, a guy who sells guns for a living and who teaches for a living. Guns and concealed weapons permits and stuff like that. Well, That's what happened. Well, the bright side to the customer service is this young lady that works in customer service by the name of Kaylee. She was very helpful. Although she was still reluctant on giving me the owner's email address, his company email address, but she still helped out. And another guy who came in and took over for Pete named Ron, they helped me out. So subsequently, I didn't have to pay the $160 to get my rifle back, okay? Now, another downside was when I received all of these IO mags, all 4 of these, I could not put more than 26 to 28 rounds in the mags. It baffled me because I know these are 30-round mags. I don't know who's making them for them, but it's 30-round mags. I turned around and said, you know what, let me take the mags apart. When I took it apart, I figured out that the springs were upside down and backwards. Wow, what great, you know, not just customer service, but quality control, right? I had to fix my own mags. Now they're taking 30 rounds and stuff, fine. They feed, function properly, but I just won't trust my life to them. The old ones that the original rifle came with were these Polish radomes, okay? They don't have any steel feed lips at all. They don't have any reinforced steel tabs or anything like that, but they work, they function. I still wouldn't trust my life to them, but they work. And if SHTF scenario, I'm gonna fall back to the plenty of an abundance of surplus mags that I have, and these will be an absolute last resort. Those I just use for the range, okay? Another problem that I have with these mags are this: once you feed it into the mag weld, you have to slam it home, and take it out, you gotta fight with them, okay? You have to fight with it. It's kind of hard to get them out. And if you're trying to do a mag change by just stripping it away, not gonna happen, buddy. You gotta try again. Now, as you can tell on mag number 8, I shaved it down right before the tab so it can fit in easier. And guess what? It does fit in easier, but it's still kind of hard to get the mag out, okay? Gotta slap it away a little bit. These are good mags, but I'll just use them for the range. One good thing you see about the IO is this: no mag wobble whatsoever. Regardless of what mag I use, you don't get any mag wobble, and it does have the dimples for the mag weld on the mag weld, so that it holds a mag in place, okay? The accessory rails goes without saying. Great, great, great. Now, overall, the IO has come a long ways with their products, okay? To be compared to my SLR 104 FR, which is 5.45, and I have the 7.62 at home also, the 107. They're getting there. They're getting there. But thanks to Kaylee and Ron from IO, they've revived my, how do you say, spirits with that company again. I'm not afraid to buy another product from them. Okay, they've done very well. This is a phenomenal rifle, which is made in the USA. Before any other AK was being made in the USA, I think IO was one of the first ones to homegrown and build their own rifles here in the States. Now, it has a Tapco G2 trigger, which has very little take-up, and it's good. As a matter of fact, I put the same trigger system in that rifle there because I couldn't stand the Arsenal trigger. I couldn't fire it fast, you know, and you had that long take-up, and it was just awful. Great rifle. IO has come a long way. They did a good job with this rifle, and I found that the people that they hired and the AKM specialist that they hired to bring on board is a guy from another company that all he does is specialize with AKs, and they've done their work on this one. I give them 2 thumbs ups. Customer service, I'm still kind of don't know which way on 2 thumbs, you know what I mean? Kind of stuck in between.